So again, many discrepancies in understanding, and many of students make not the best, not optimal way preparation for colleges, right? And many of them, even today, one student called to manager, usually I have almost everybody pass this test. For instance, Mark Twain. They came to beautiful school. I just give one example. And you know, for fifth grader, we have many schools, but let's say Mark Twain Bay Academy. Mark Twain related to one district, and this is a city school. Regardless of where you live, you can apply for this school. Bay Academy is zoning school. And this student get not bad score at all. And the student did not pass. And why he did not pass? Because his beautiful admission in his beautiful school recommend the student to apply to Bay Academy, since I don't know why. And he lived not in this zoning school, not in this zone. Definitely he was rejected. Many years ago, they give you application where you have only choices related to, now they give you application, come whatever you choose. 0 level of school, 0 level of this admission office, and this nice kid was not accepted. Definitely because they accept only from this zone. Keep in mind. I make analogy. The same story with your preparation for SHSAT test. They take consideration your statewide as well. You ignore this. After that, you have the same result with another smart kid. Says, well, this has better scores in statewide. I just give some example. GPA. You go to college, like Ivan, the best school of Stein. He is very smart, but too smart. In 9th grade, he decided to fool around. Why? We need only result for SSST in last 2 years. He applied for admission office. They said, well, what a garbage. What did you do in 9th grade? He said, well, nobody need this score. So you're interested about only your score, not about knowledge. You're not durable out of MIT. No MIT, period, wherever he wants. So if you know all this stuff advanced, and you have time to do this, not in 12th grade you decided to choose. If you know this rule of games, you definitely will not make this mistake. We have unique opportunity. In our class, we have great Karen. She very experienced in admission. And Karen, would you like to tell us about some basic, which is more important to pass to the best colleges with finally?
Absolutely. I've been an admissions officer for many years. I've helped people get into some of the top schools, including my own children. And most recently, I read admissions folders for just part-time for Fordham University, but I've worked for some of the top schools. I will tell you, and that story that Dr. Farber just told you about the young man who fooled around in freshman year, he never would have gotten into any of the schools that I work with, because one of the first things that we look at in admissions is your grades. And if you're going to go to the Ivies, to MIT, to Stanford, to University of Chicago, etc., you have to have the best grades you possibly can. And the reason why is because you're competing with kids from all over the world who had the top grades. You also must have the highest SAT score you can possibly get. Again, because you're you're competing with kids from all over the world who have the top SAT scores. If you don't have the top grades or the top SAT scores in the beginning when we read the files, you don't even make it to the next round. You end up in the garbage, you're not even there. So you have to work hard. You have to work hard in this class because this class will help get you higher grades. So you must study hard in this class. You have a unique opportunity right now. So you've got to get the best grades. You have to get the perfect scores, you know, the top grades, everything. Aim to get straight A's. Now, one of the things that the schools are looking for is, while everyone has top grades and everyone has top scores, the schools are not looking for well-rounded students. What they are looking are for well-angled students. What do I mean by that? Everyone you're competing with, all the people who have garbage grades, garbage scores, they end up on the floor. But when you make it to the second round of the admissions into what they call the committees, and the committees are where all the admissions officers talk about your files, but you have to make it to that point first with the good grades and the good scores. They look for well-angled students. It's not enough just to do volunteer work, community service. It's not enough just to participate on the sports team or even just, you know, do a little bit of projects here, a little bit of projects there. You won't make it. You have to stand out from everyone else. You have to have this wow factor, which Dr. Farber has talked about. One of the things that they look for is people who have done research. Have you done the detailed research and the analysis? Have you done the special activities? If you're in sports, are you a state champion? You know, if you've done volunteering, have you just not volunteered, but have you created a whole volunteer community that will last after you graduate? These are the top things that they're looking for. I had a client once, because I do consulting, I had a client once that a student, she was doing, you know, she wanted to go into computer science engineering, and she would help out every time with women who were over, you know, 35, 40, who didn't understand computer science. So she took those people and she turned it into an online class that she would teach this online class once a week to these women. What the colleges are looking for: unique, what makes you stand out. And research is always number one, which Dr. Farber offers. But you can only do the research with Dr. Farber if you do well in these classes. You do the homework, you show up and do the research. That's what the schools are looking for. Finally, and I'll wrap it up, you have to have your essays. So I know a lot of you are taking the English part of the classes. Make sure your essays look really good. There's a formula to them where you have your situation, how you handle the situation, the result, and how you can teach somebody else. The essays have to be grammar, so you're going to have people look over them as well. And then your recommendations. If you can get a recommendation from Dr. Farber, who's a top researcher, that means a lot. Strong recommendations from teachers, because that can make or break you. That is the way you get into the top colleges. And what you're doing right now in this class will set you worlds apart. But you have to do the work, get the top scores, get the top grades. You have to be well angled and differentiate yourself from all the other applications, and research will do it. You have to master something, show that you master it, and have that wow factor to get in. And of course, your essays and your recommendations. If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Students, any questions? Thank you, Karen, for very important information. Why we do it advanced? Because nobody has access on time to go back and change your result is score in 7th grade, right? You have now great opportunity and you will be prepared. I just
That
want
is
to
correct.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to add, thank you very much, Karen. And I want to just add a couple words for this, just few words. So look at this. I will, during this, your presentation, I found one of, just let's see, here it is. I made presentation. It was a World Congress of Education. I prepared these materials for Cambridge, if you know, United Kingdom, right? And after that, made this similar, I enhance it. I represent in the World Congress in, where is it? In, here it is, in Beijing, yes, in Beijing. And I'm not going to go through this one, yes, Beijing. And you can look at this presentation on this YouTube, but let me show, just a second. Let me show some stuff from, what is it?
There you have to read an incredibly long email from your boss that you have to finish before the big meeting starts in 10 minutes. Or you're cramming for an
I want to show one diagram
can't
here.
bear to keep your eyes open to read.
Yeah, this. So diagram is about over there. No, this presentation about future of online education. But here we have some graph. What is 27? It's supposed to be here. So this is from Stanford statement, from Yale, Harvard, etc. They look for somebody, it's exactly from their sites, and they look for somebody who will bring unique, because it helps to develop level of this college, because our colleges also compete with each other. In addition, in this presentation, I show 2 points: point of college and point of student, right? And here my this admission from college point and from applicant. So college fighting for smart kids, because this, you know, or some people, when they become CEO of great company, they give a lot of money, like alumni, for this particular college, millions of this. They're looking for this. And look at this briefly diagram. You see criteria they're looking for? Academic level. It's one of criteria. Extracurricular activity is supposed to be very strong, like Karen emphasized. If you have medium results, they don't care about this. They appreciate scientific curiosity. They're looking for recommendation from the real recommendation, not fake, from top research companies. They take consideration influence, personal skill, and characters. All this you're supposed to combine together in USA. And if you satisfy all this for each of them, when they vote in committee, you have a grade from 1 to 10. You go to get the smallest possible grade. It's the first place on Olympic. If you have here 1, there 1, there 1, not necessarily 1, 2, wherever, when they count, they appreciate students who have the lowest score. In this case, it means you're on the top. In this case, you have great opportunity to pay this. I don't need this one. I just wanted, this is our internship here. We did, etc. Why I'm telling about this? Before not too late, you have to study. Many of my students who took internship with nice grade, definitely they end this, all this stuff, for sure. They're happy to get these students. Okay, this is very briefly. Now, I will turn it and keep in mind, don't make this mistake, because you're working for, go to this port, which is good, but it will not help you too much for this admission. Do sport for yourself if you're not very strong, and think about something really valuable for this college. Do you have any questions, students? If you'd like, put your hands down. If you'd like, I believe manager already sent this presentation. It's who would like to get this link again? This, I believe, 25 minutes or something. So manager will send everybody this one. I have tons of them in different countries. This was right. Okay. In this presentation, I emphasize that only 20% people, they develop conceptual thinking. Only 20. 80% did not. So I want you having this 20%. Now in this education, the number even more asymmetrical. Now, if you don't have any questions, let's practice together.